For today's Path Monks Presents episode, I have a very interesting guest with me here today. I'm with Matteo Franceschetti, who is heading over from 8Sleep. And 8Sleep developed a proprietary technology called the pod that enhances sleep performance. And I mean, we've actually had a lot of founders here on the podcast who were telling us they're just sleeping, 5 to 6 hours. So I guess today we have to flip that around and learn what actually, how important sleep performance can be and also how you build a company around that. So we're going to be talking with Matteo about the company and digital growth and his journey to become a co-founder and CEO. So Matteo, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Very good. Yeah. So maybe tell us all about 8Sleep. What is it all about in your own words?
Yeah, we develop a new technology that can enhance your sleep performance, that can track everything about your health while you're asleep. We're based here in the US, and our long-term vision is to compress your sleep. So what if you could sleep less hours and get the same rest faster? And second, we want to save your life. So what if we could scan your body while you're asleep to detect early signs of any sort of illness?
Okay, how should we imagine to work? Maybe you can tell us, how can we, a lot of founders and marketers are listening, how can we reduce our hours of sleep so that we can get more done?
Yeah, so right now our product comes in two form factors. One is a mattress itself, the other is a mattress cover. Today we control the temperature of your body while you're asleep. This will help you to fall asleep faster, get more deep sleep, more REM, less wake ups and less toss and turns. But the overall vision includes the fact that we will control all the environmental factor while you are asleep, and we will change them and adjust them in real time based on your biometrics.
Got you. Very, very good. Okay, cool. So maybe could you tell us, like, who would be typically the people who are, using 8Sleep? Like, who is the demographic that says this is for me?
Yeah, so right now it's really 25 to 45 years old. We're talking about people that are health conscious, they're already into fitness. So you can think of anyone going to the gym, already taking care of their nutrition, and now they want to tackle and improve their sleep. That is our audience.
Very, very cool. And how would you say, are they learning about 8Sleep? Like, what is the journey? We're all about journeys here at PathMonk. Like, what is the journey that somebody's going through in order to sort of, get to know about you guys and maybe being interested in some of the products, like, maybe the acquisition channels like that they come through?
Yeah, so a large part of our customers, they come through word of mouth. So 20% plus of our revenue is just referral, which is pretty incredible for our price point. The other big thing is because of the price point, our is not an impulsive purchase. And so people need to have multiple touch points. And most of the times it happens, or the most effective form of that is through secondary voices. So it's not even us, but it's them hearing about us through other sources that they rave about the product. And so you hear about us once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then people convert.
Makes a lot of sense. And what role would you say does the website play? I mean, obviously you have a sort of point of purchase on the website. Like, what role do you attribute to the website? And, how do you think about the website?
Yeah, so right now we're selling only D2C, so it's extremely important, our e-commerce strategy. The website is key because people want to understand first what the product does. This is the first time they come. And second, we need to build trust with them. Part of that trust comes through these secondary voices that they keep driving the same person over and over to the website. But then on the website itself, there is a whole strategy that we apply into, giving you the comfort to spend $1,500 for our product.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm curious though, as a CEO, you probably are very critical, look with a critical eye on the website as well. Like, sort of, where do you see sort of the major strength and where do you see the biggest room for improvement when you think about the website?
Yeah, I mean, based on what we hear, I mean, our brand, it seems to look nice, and so we are receiving positive feedback. I still think we have room for improvement there. In particular, when you buy online a product like ours, comfort is really important. So how can we keep elevating the comfort? Second is how do we differentiate ourselves? we are not the typical sleep company about lazy Sundays in bed. We are all about performance and recovery. And so if you can think of us, customers call us the Peloton of sleep. And so how do we really find this balance between activity and energy and achievements and sleep recovery? Mm-hmm. And then I think one of the 10Xers where the team is doing pretty well is we are obsessed, obviously, with metrics and more than anything, A/B testing. And so we have reached a volume where we can A/B test multiple options at the same time, and data validates certain decisions.
Super, super interesting. Coming back to the product, right? For everybody who's listening in, what would you say is sort of the main competitive advantage? Like what do people get with 8 Sleep that they can't get somewhere else?
Yeah, so the number one thing that you get is this thermoregulation. So each side of the bed can be set at a different temperature, and that temperature will change during the night based on your needs and what you deserve for maximum sleep performance. So if you share your bed with a partner, you have different preferences. Each side can have different temperature, different metrics. And again, everything gets adjusted based on our machine learning and AI model for maximum sleep performance. That is something that it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
Gotcha. I see. So what we love to ask CEOs of companies is, a couple of questions about how they look at their position. So I would be curious, like, what would you say is the biggest challenge actually when introducing such an innovation like yourself?
The biggest challenge is always to explain it. To explain, okay, what does this do? And why do I need it? And in particular, based on a certain price point like ours, then you need to build trust.
Makes complete sense. So what I would love to do is actually switch gears a little bit. So we talked a little bit about the product, right? We learned what 8 Sleep is all about. We learned a little bit how you're thinking about digital growth for the company. I would be curious to learn about yourself. So where do you, because you obviously have very limited time, even though you win probably some hours in sleeping, where do you go in order to learn and educate yourself? Like what are the channels, or how do you filter even to what to read and what to consume?
Yeah, so it's a good point. I'm pretty obsessed with learning and raising my own bar. I would say the number one thing I do is I really read books. Books that have been recommended by people that I trust. So I try to read at least a book a week. Sometimes I'm able to read 2 books a week. And so that is one thing. Second, I cherry pick some podcasts based on people that I really like, and I accelerate the velocity. So I listen to them at 1.5x or 2x. And third, I think for Silicon Valley, Twitter is a great platform. All the top people in Silicon Valley are there. Obviously now there is also Clubhouse. It's tricky because you don't want to be trapped into too much noise. But if you cherry pick, you can find pretty good information.
Did you find Clubhouse for you usable in any particular way?
There are a few rooms and episodes that are really good. But yeah, I still struggle because I cannot accelerate the speed, and they're only at certain times, and they're optimized for West Coast versus East Coast. So to a certain degree.
Very cool. Since we're slowly coming to an end of the interview, actually, of a quick snapshot of 8 Sleep, I would be curious with a couple of rapid fire questions to learn a little bit more about yourself. Are you ready for those?
Let's go.
What's the last book that you read?
I read the book from Frank Slutman about one of his company. I think it's called Tape. That I can tell you the exact number. And before that, I read the Daily Stoics, the Almanac of Naval. Yeah, so the latest I read.
Very good. What's the one single thing your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Growth and product.
If there would be no boundaries in technology, what's the one thing that you would want to have fixed for the company today?
For our own company? I mean, to fast forward what we want to build in the next 5 years and just be there today. So sleep compression and setting your life.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company? I'm not sure if you even stay awake on 8 Sleep, but What would keep you up in the morning if you wouldn't have the pot?
I mean, there are things connected to strategy that can range from hiring to product decisions.
And if today would be your very first day building up 8Sleep, what's the one advice that you would give yourself if you would restart the company today?
Be ready to be resilient and go for the long run.
For the long run. Very, very good, Matteo. I really appreciate that you took the time to give us a snapshot about 8Sleep so that we can learn and the audience can learn all about the team. I want to give you the last word. If somebody forgets everything that we discussed about 8Sleep today, what's the one thing that they should remember about the company?
That 8Sleep will improve their sleep performance.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathfund Presents today.
Welcome.